remove the shock from this E46 BMW, you have to remove this nut, this bolt behind those lines, and you have also the 3 nuts on the upper side of the shock inside of the hood. So let's get started. First of all, we have to jack up the sway bar arm, so there's a little bit of tension on the little arm. Then we can remove the nut with a pressure wrench. So now we can take our jack again and jack up the control arm a little bit, so the whole assembly will not fall down when we loosen these 3 nuts. Now lower your car jack so the assembly comes down, and you will see the shock or the strut is still in place and in one piece with the assembly. So we have to loosen 1 bolt there. It's also a bracket that holds the brake line and the ABS sensor, so be careful. And here we go. That's the bracket. Now you can twist and pull up at the same time to remove the shock. This little piece on the shock slides into the groove in the hub, so the shock is in the right position. So now you can take a spring tensioner to compress the spring, and so you can loosen the nut, the top nut, and remove the shock, and so you can install a new shock. Tighten the nut again and decompress the spring tensioner. You can use different methods or tools to compress the spring coil, but I prefer to use this method because it's also more safe. It's also a good idea to check your top bearing for some play, because now the whole assembly of the shock is out of the car and it's easy to reach when you want to install a new top bearing. Now we just have to install the shock again in reverse order, like we disassembled everything. You can use your car jack again to pull up the whole assembly and the shock right in the center of the holes on the upper side, so make sure it's in the right position. You can tighten the nuts with your wrench again. Now tighten the bolt of the shock, then remove or lower the car jack and use them again to put some pressure on the sway bar arm, so you can tighten also the last nut, and then you are ready with installing the front shock of a BMW E46. Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel.